Good evening, welcome to Worldwide Way. Tonight we're exploring a different kind of American journey, one where cities that once powered the nation are now losing people. We'll count down the top 5 US cities facing the steepest population declines. But this isn't just about numbers. We'll uncover the real reasons behind the exodus and what it means for the future. These are stories of resilience, struggle, and hope, of communities adapting to profound change. Whether you've lived in these cities or are simply curious, join us as we break down the forces reshaping America. Let's get started. Our journey begins in Detroit, Michigan, once the beating heart of American industry. Detroit was the Motor City, where the American dream rolled off assembly lines and Motown music filled the air. The city's fortunes were built on the auto industry, with Ford, GM, and Chrysler shaping its identity and economy. But as manufacturing changed, automation and global competition slashed jobs, factories downsized or closed, and the economic foundation crumbled. Families left in search of opportunity, triggering a wave of urban flight. The city's tax base shrank, services declined, and entire neighborhoods emptied out. Detroit's population plummeted from 1.8 million in the 1950s to under 630,000 today. The city became a symbol of deindustrialization's harsh reality. Yet Detroit's story isn't just about loss. In recent years, downtown and midtown have seen new investment, a growing arts scene, and a renewed sense of pride. The challenge is making sure revitalization reaches all residents, not just a few neighborhoods. High poverty and the scars of decline remain, but so does resilience. Detroit's journey is a cautionary tale about relying on a single industry, and a testament to the people fighting for its future. Amid empty lots and abandoned buildings, community activists and small business owners are working to rebuild. Detroit reminds us that American cities are always changing, sometimes painfully, but always with hope. The Motor City's next chapter is still being written. It's a story of adaptation, grit, and the enduring spirit of those who call Detroit home. As we move on, remember, behind every statistic is a community determined to survive. Detroit's lessons echo far beyond its city limits. The city's transformation is ongoing, and its outcome will shape the future of urban America. Let's see what comes next on our list. Detroit's rise, fall, and fight for renewal set the stage for the cities that follow. The American city is never static, and Detroit proves it. On to our next stop. Next, we head east to Baltimore, Maryland. Charm City, with its historic harbors and iconic row houses. Once a thriving seaport and industrial powerhouse, Baltimore's economy was anchored by shipyards and steel. But as manufacturing faded, jobs disappeared and the city's fortunes changed. The closure of Sparrows Point and automation at the port left thousands without work. Crime rates rose, fueled by poverty and the drug trade, making safety a daily concern for many residents. Families seeking better schools and safer neighborhoods moved to the suburbs, draining the city's population and tax base. Baltimore's population has dropped from nearly 950,000 in 1950 to under 570,000 today. Vacant homes and abandoned blocks mark the toll of decades of decline. Yet, Baltimore is more than its challenges. World-class institutions like Johns Hopkins drive innovation and provide jobs. The Inner Harbor has been revitalized and neighborhoods like Hampton pulse with arts and culture. Grassroots organizations are working to create opportunity and heal divisions. Baltimore's story is one of contrasts: historic beauty and modern struggle, resilience and hardship. The path forward means tackling crime, improving schools, and building an inclusive economy. The city's future depends on bridging divides and convincing people to stay and to return. Baltimore's spirit endures, even as it faces tough odds. The city's transformation is ongoing, shaped by those who refuse to give up. Charm City's crossroads are a microcosm of America's urban challenges. Baltimore's journey is far from over. Let's continue our countdown. Next stop, the Gateway to the West. Now we arrive in St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Gateway Arch and a city once at the crossroads of America. St. Louis thrived as a river port and manufacturing center with a diverse economy and strong middle class. But a unique political split in 1876 separated the city from St. Louis County, setting the stage for decades of challenges. As suburbanization swept the nation, families left the city for the county, taking their tax dollars with them. Deindustrialization hit hard and factories closed, accelerating the exodus. The city's population fell from over 850,000 in 1950 to less than 290,000 today. Meanwhile, the county and metro area grew, highlighting a shift, not a regional decline but a city hollowed out. North St. Louis bears the scars: vacant lots, abandoned buildings, and the legacy of failed urban renewal projects like Pruitt-Ego. Racial divisions deepened, with white flight and concentrated poverty, creating stark contrasts, nowhere more visible than along the Delmar Divide. Fragmentation into nearly 90 municipalities makes regional cooperation difficult, hindering progress on economic development and public safety. Yet, St. Louis boasts world-class parks, museums, and a growing bioscience sector. Neighborhoods like the Central West End are thriving, and passionate residents are working to preserve the city's history and rebuild communities. The challenge is immense, but so is the potential. St. Louis's story is a lesson in how political decisions and social divides can shape a city's fate for generations. The gateway to the West now faces the challenge of bridging its own divides to build a more unified future. St. Louis is a city of contrasts, loss and hope, decline and renewal. Its journey is a powerful reminder that cities are shaped by both their past and their choices for the future. The next chapter depends on healing old wounds and working together. St. Louis stands at a crossroads, its future still unwritten. The lessons here resonate far beyond the Mississippi. Let's move to our next city on the list. The story of American change continues. St. Louis's experience is a warning and an inspiration. The Gateway's Great Divide is a challenge but also an opportunity. Onward to Cleveland. Our next stop is Cleveland, Ohio, a city that once stood tall as an industrial giant on Lake Erie. Cleveland's rise was powered by steel, shipping, and manufacturing, creating wealth and a strong middle class. But heavy reliance on industry became a vulnerability as global competition and automation took hold. The decline was swift. Factories closed, jobs vanished, and the city's population dropped from over 900,000 in 1950 to around 360,000 today. The Mistake on the Lake era saw financial crisis and environmental disaster, with the Cuyahoga River catching fire. Residents fled to suburbs or left the region entirely, leaving behind abandoned factories and struggling neighborhoods. But Cleveland refused to give up. The city shifted its focus to healthcare and education, with the Cleveland Clinic and university hospitals leading a new economic era. Downtown has seen a resurgence, with new housing, restaurants, and revitalized public spaces. The once polluted river is now a hub for recreation. Still, challenges remain. Poverty and depopulation persist in many neighborhoods, and not all residents have benefited from the city's transformation. Cleveland's story is one of reinvention, proof that even the hardest-hit cities can find a new path. The journey isn't over, but hope is returning to the North Coast. Cleveland's resilience is shaping a new identity for the city and its people. The lessons here are clear. Adaptation is possible, but it takes vision and persistence. Cleveland's transformation is ongoing, and its future is being forged every day. The city's spirit endures even as it faces new challenges. From decline to renewal, Cleveland is writing its next chapter. Let's see how another city has faced and overcome similar struggles. On to Pittsburgh. Our final city is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a place that epitomizes both industrial decline and urban rebirth. Once the capital of American steel, Pittsburgh's mills powered the nation and built its fortunes. But in the 1970s and 80s, the steel industry collapsed almost overnight, wiping out over 150,000 jobs. The city's population plummeted from 676,000 to under 300,000, as families left in search of work. Pittsburgh was left with abandoned mills, polluted land, and a crisis of identity. But the city didn't give up. Leaders, universities, and foundations made a bold pivot, investing in technology, healthcare, and education. Carnegie Mellon and the University of Pittsburgh became engines of innovation, driving growth in robotics, AI, and medicine. Former mill sites were transformed into tech campuses and research centers. Today, Pittsburgh is a hub for technology and healthcare, with major companies and world-class hospitals leading the way. The air and rivers are clean, neighborhoods are attracting new residents, and the city is known for its affordability and vibrant culture. Yet challenges remain. The population hasn't fully rebounded, and not all neighborhoods share in the new prosperity. Rising housing costs and gentrification are concerns, and the benefits of the knowledge economy aren't evenly distributed. Pittsburgh's story is one of resilience and reinvention, a model for cities facing similar challenges. The city's transformation shows that with vision and collaboration, even the hardest-hit places can find new life. Pittsburgh's journey isn't just about loss, it's about the power of adaptation and hope. The Steel City has become a city of innovation, proving that change is possible. Its story offers a blueprint for other cities navigating economic upheaval. Pittsburgh stands as both a warning and an inspiration. The city's next chapter is still being written by those who refuse to give up. From steel to science, Pittsburgh's transformation is a testament to American ingenuity. The lessons here are clear: cities can be reborn, but it takes courage and vision. Pittsburgh's journey is a story of hope for all of urban America. As we conclude our countdown, let's reflect on what these cities teach us. The spirit of reinvention endures. Detroit, Baltimore, St. Louis, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, 5 cities, each transformed by forces beyond their control. Their stories reveal the complex reasons behind urban decline: economic shifts, suburban flight, and deep social divides. But these aren't just tales of loss. They're stories of resilience and reinvention. Each city is forging a new identity, leveraging its strengths to build a better future. The path forward is challenging, but hope remains. What's your connection to these cities? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for joining us on this journey through changing America. Subscribe to World Wide Way for more stories from around the globe. See you next time.